So there's been a lot said about Twitter's new owner, billionaire Elon Musk, especially after Mr. Musk tweeted out a link to a deranged right-wing website to further the smearing of Paul Pelosi, the House Speaker's husband, whom a deranged intruder attacked with a hammer last Friday. The website that Elon Musk linked to is so nuts, it reported in 2016 that Hillary Clinton had died and that a body double would debate Donald Trump. The host of Jimmy Kimmel Live on ABC tweeted, after Musk did this, "It has been interesting over the years to watch you blossom from the electric car guy into a fully formed piece of shit." And Jimmy Kimmel joins me now. Jimmy, good to see you. Interesting tweet, strong words, and it does play right into this national conversation we've been having about free speech. How do you see those issues given, free speech on one hand, and yet the dangerous spread of misinformation and hateful rhetoric that's inciting some of these attacks on the other?
Well, first of all, Jake, I love hearing you curse. It's one of my favorite things. I know it only happens like once every. I feel like you did it just for me tonight.
I only quote people cursing. I never curse on my own. It's only when it's within quotations. The Trump era gave me a lot of opportunities to do that, by the way.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's like CNN after dark. I have to say, I am not. When I am the voice of decency, we've got a problem, because the idea that this old man, an 82-year-old man, has been attacked in his bed in his home by a person who obviously has some problems, and that our first reaction isn't, oh my goodness, even if they're lying, even if they're pretending to have concern, how can the reaction possibly be? How can we move so quickly to smearing these people, to trying to create some, and by the way, now that the police report is out, I haven't exactly seen Elon Musk or Donald Trump or Donnie Jr. correcting them and saying, oh my goodness, now that we read the facts of the story, certainly we feel terrible that we spread these vicious lies around, and we retract them and apologize to the Pelosi family. No, you'll never see that because that's not how it works. Everybody is a target all the time now.
And it's not just the smears that they put out about Paul Pelosi, these deranged conspiracy theories. A lot of these folks, right-wing MAGA folks, tried to make jokes at Paul Pelosi's expense. One's largely based on this deranged smear that Paul Pelosi, had a relationship with his attacker. Now, you certainly are not afraid of taking risks in comedy. Where's the line? I mean, I personally found those jokes by Don Jr. and others just horrible and not even remotely funny.
The line is when Don Jr. tells a joke. That's when Don Jr. tells a joke. It's the line has been crossed, because this is not a funny person. I don't know what's going on in Don's life, but it seems like an awful lot of projection going on there to me. And I just, I don't know. The line, I guess, is when an 82-year-old man gets hit in the head with a hammer.
Yeah, it's a good line. This also comes at the same time that Kanye West, now known as Ye, who I know you've interviewed in the past, he said he could say anything he wanted anti-Semitic, and Adidas couldn't drop him, but Adidas did ultimately drop him. On the other hand, Kyrie Irving, star of the Brooklyn Nets, he's out there flirting with anti-Semitism, continues to play. How do you think celebrities who spew bigotry, people who have platforms, should be treated? What kind of consequences should there be?
I just, it makes me wonder, like, who told them this stuff? How did this get into their heads in the first place? I mean, on one side, you could say maybe we shouldn't take anything that these guys say seriously. I mean, if you see someone ranting and raving on the street corner, you're not necessarily holding them accountable for their words. But on the other hand, these are very specific. I mean, they've singled out a religious group and decided that all the evils of the world are somehow attached to that group. It's beyond offensive. It's actually nonsensical. Yeah. And I don't think Kanye West is a stupid person, and I don't think Kyrie Irving does think the world is flat, so that should be taken into consideration. But
he went to Duke, though. He's pretty smart.
Well, he went to Duke. Would he have gone to Duke had he not been a great basketball player? that's for the admissions people at Duke. But it might be time to take his diploma back.
So, and yet at the same time that we're talking about this, you and I have talked about this privately, this era of so-called cancel culture, where careers get ruined because somebody says something wrong or makes a mistake. Obviously, if they commit a crime, that's a separate thing. But I think, and I think you agree with me, that there does need to be room for people to apologize as long as it's a sincere apology. I saw this report today about this young sports reporter named Casey Funderburg. She objected to some racism that she saw as a sports reporter, and then past tweets, racist tweets that she had made when she was a teenager emerged, and she was fired. And to me, that seems like, look, if she's, I don't have people. There needs to be space for people to apologize in this world.
Yeah, I mean, if there isn't, then where do we go? I mean, I mean, listen. Obviously, I've been involved in. I've said a million stupid things, and I would hope that people would decide whether an apology is sincere. When an apology isn't even offered, I mean, listen. These people are supposed to be Christians. I am a Catholic. I grew up in the church. What I was taught was that if you do something wrong, you ask for forgiveness, and you are forgiven for these things. The idea that it would be anything other than that these people who are allegedly following the teachings of Jesus would behave in this way, it doesn't it doesn't make any sense at all. And I just can't understand how that works for so many people, so many Americans.
It's not just religious. It's not just people
and sad.
It's not just religious people on the right, though, right? I mean, there are people, progressives on the left, that can be pretty tough about this.
Absolutely, just as, if not more so. But I do think that there's more openness to forgiveness from that particular side. Yeah, but with that said, people do like piling on. They love it. It makes them feel like they're a better person. There's certainly a lot of that going on. And I tell you what, I've noticed, and this is just my own personal experience, I noticed that in the 3 days that Elon Musk has been running this Twitter, that it has gotten crazier and nastier. I mean, I'm walking in an ALS walk in Las Vegas on Sunday, on my birthday, November 13th. And I posted about it. And thank you. And I just got an avalanche of hate. And it's just like, well, you can't do anything anymore without being attacked. It's absolutely crazy.
No, I agree. The midterm elections are approaching. I have to say, whatever you feel about Republicans taking back the House, which seems likely, perhaps as a comedian, you're looking forward to it. I mean, more prominence for people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who you like to talk about. She brings you information. She brings you fodder.
No, I know I don't. I'm not that desperate for material. I'm really not. And we'll tell you something also. I have a bone to pick with you because we watch you in my office every day before the show, and then all of a sudden you decide to slide into the night slot. Now, this is when I'm taping the show. It's not convenient for me at all. So I'm very glad to hear that you're moving back to 4 o'clock, and I like to believe that you did it specifically for me.
I did it because of my family, and it was always just a short-term gig for
a little
through
bit
the
for
midterms. If you want to tell
40% for me.
140. I mean, 4.